Okay, so I'm really excited to present Floyi 2.0 to you. It is a refresh on the design. Now it completely brings you that closed loop system for your content strategy, going from brand all the way to published content. Let's just get right into it. I just want to show you everything that we have going on. So we have a brand new sidebar design, a lot cleaner. Let's check out each of the components really quick. We'll go from beginning to end of the strategy flow. And let's check out brand foundation. So we have the same brand foundation as before. Then we have our audience insights. We still have our various buyer personas that you're creating and you're really targeting. Then we do our topical research, of course. Then we do our SERP clustering. Then we have our topical map, 4 levels of topical hierarchy. We generate our URL slugs for all of the topics. And then you can also generate a content snapshot. Or if you just want to get right into it, head over to Topical Authority and you can see your scoreboard. But most importantly, you see your topical map structured here, the Authority Planner. This is where you get to see your topical map, very clean outline, tree structure. You're able to see at a glance where you're ranking, where you're cited or mentioned or cited and mentioned in AI overviews. We have filters here. You can see which ones you're a top 3 in, which topics you're ranking in the top 10. For your editorial workflow, you're able to see which topics you have briefs, no briefs. You're able to see articles where you're waiting review, needs editing, ready to publish, and published. So let's say some of these at a glance, these are all the ones we have briefs for. So you're able to click the content brief icon and bring up all the content briefs that you've created. Take a quick look. Then you could go and create an article from this brief. You can edit the brief, or you can just click on the article draft icon and start viewing the article. So you have the full article. Everything is super clean for you here. You're able to just see how nicely and structured all the content is laid out for you. The worst are those AI writers that do header, a paragraph, a header, a paragraph. So our AI agents don't do that. We lay everything out very cleanly, easy for LLMs, for search engines to read, understand what your article is all about, and all the answers your article provides for everyone. You're able to edit in the workspace. You're able to create a new draft. All right. So everything is here for you, very easy to access. And one of our newest features is this, our competitor matrix for pro and agency subscribers. Now you're able to see all of your competitors over here, where they're ranking, where they're mentioned or cited for AI overviews. You can see how many topics out of your topical map they are covering. Other tools give you a big list of topics. Great, nice to know, but they don't tell you the topics that are important to your brand and your audience. They tell you the generic industry and the generic niche and topics in those, but are they relevant to you? Your topical map is covering all of the topics that are important to you and your audience. So now you're able to just scroll down, quick glance. You can see how this one competitor, which is the NIH government site, they have all the research papers and studies and everything. And then you're able to say how well this competitor is doing, how well this competitor is doing, how well you're doing. So you can see rank number 1 here for what is irritable bowel syndrome. Let me click it real quick. You can see we're highlighted here as number 1. Who's second? Cleveland Clinic. And you can see if you're ranking more than once in the top 20 here. So we're ranking number 1 and 5 here. Let's see what articles are showing up. Okay, so we're not cannibalizing ourselves. The Google SERPs are basically loving us. They're loving the symptoms and causes article because we're ranking number 1 here. Then they're ranking the same article for us for number 5 with a specific set of text that is showing up. Answer right away at the top of article. So you can see the others. Our brand is also here as well. So that's why you see the same thing. And then you could see number 2 is also ranking their 8th ranking. Are they cannibalizing themselves? So number 2 is Cleveland Clinic here. And then their number 8 article is a completely different article. So they could be hurting themselves. And you can see the same thing. Here you could see number 9 and number 12 here. Let's see. For this topic of eating quickly and swallowed air contributing to IBS symptoms, we could see our belching, gas, and bloating article is here. Again, they're giving us 2 spots. They're giving us the bottom of page 1 and the top of page 2 for the exact same article. So as you scroll through, you'll see the competitor rankings color coded. You'll see their rankings colored as red, which means they're ranking higher than us. Green means we are ranking higher than them. And then these secondary rankings. Now you're able to see at a quick glance everything in your topical map and where you're ranking, where you're mentioned in AI overviews and more AI search engines coming up. Then you can also see where your competitors are. So no longer are you spending your time in spreadsheets and trying to collect data from one tool and another tool and another tool. And now you're just dealing with 5 different spreadsheets. Here, we can export everything. We can export it as one spreadsheet even. Click it. Let me make this smaller. And you're able to see your topical map. And then you're able to see all the other data plus your competitors here, where they're ranking, are they mentioned or cited in AI overviews. Very useful, very handy. Only at Floyi do you have this complete closed loop system. And as you are publishing articles and collecting your rankings and collecting your mentions and citations, you're able to see your topical authority score, coverage, your brand visibility, your brand share voice, your AI overviews, mentions, and cited numbers, and you have your share voice top of leaderboard. And then here you're able to choose which competitors you want to compare yourself against. Floyi isn't going to suggest random competitors just because you have some random topics that you overlap in. Your direct competitors are the ones that you say they are because you know best what your business is, what your brand is. So you're able to set your competitor list. You're able to see the top 10, top 20, just like in the planner. So 2.0, we've also done a little refresh on our account settings. It used to just be one page. Now we have multiple tabs for different things that we do. So you have your quick glance account overview. You have your billings and credits. You have your plans and upgrades. Then you have your security where you log out. And here you have your notifications as well. You'll see a little blue dot that tells you some of these updates that we have going on. Your AI model selection, how many credits you have left, everything is just here. This is Floyi 2.0. Big ticket items. You have your planner tab here where you're able to see where your competitors are doing well, where you're doing well. So now you have your gaps, your opportunities, where you really need to strengthen what you're doing. So this section, the IBS diet and food guides, we don't have any coverage here, basically. Okay, we just have one article that we're ranking number 19 for, but we don't have these other subtopics and their topics below them, but our competitors do. This is one that we're going to want to target. But I would say these others are ones that we want to make sure we hold on to our position. Or if we're ranking number 7, let's strengthen our position by covering some of these subtopics that we are not covering. So we're ranking number 7 here for best probiotics, but we're not covering these others, or we're not ranking in the top 20, while our competitors sure are. And the more we publish there, the more we'll be able to do. And you can create a content brief for all these articles, select which ones you want to reference, click next, select the key audience personas that you want to target. You can see each one before you choose certain keywords. And then here is where you have your internal links. And this is where I was showing you earlier with the incoming internal links you can choose which anchor text you want to use when linking to your parent topic. So you're able to select the links to your parent topics. Then you're able to select the internal links and anchor text to the same level topics, and then your subtopics. Same exact thing. Lots of different options here. And from there, you create your brief, you create your article draft, and then you wait for it to rank. Lots of great stuff. Hope you're excited about this as you're watching, and hope you jump onto Floyi and start trying this out.